Welcome Dana with her evaluation of Keith's speech.
Okay, didn't know I was coming to a concert today. It was pretty exciting. Thanks so much, Keith, for that. I liked the opening with the guitar. I understand what you were doing. Sort of an overstatement that I understood. But I knew what you were doing, per se, with adding elements of the music onto it, each part, so that you had a full clip there. It was a bit distracting. So if I was in an audience and I was watching this, I'm not quite sure, what it's about. And maybe it's because it was back here and maybe not right here, and then you could just set the guitar down and keep talking. So maybe the location. Maybe that would have helped. It didn't make sense why you were doing all this until later on. Okay. And so it was a little slow for me to get to that. And then when you ended and you said, ladies, wouldn't you like, I was sort of thinking, what do you mean ladies? What's with that? And I'm a chick. And I was sort of like, really? And then you went, and men, you could have the same song, no judging. And, I don't know. It was just a little odd, maybe off-putting for some. I want to say that when you stumbled a bit when you were talking about your first-hand experience about the second-hand smoke, you stumbled, but you just kept going. So we knew what you meant, and even though you stumbled, it was still okay. We got it. It was okay. You had good humor, a little poking here and there, good humor. And I would say watch your sows. You like sows in your transitions. There were several of them where you were talking about something. So, what do we, it's okay here and there, but you have to be careful with that. I really overall enjoyed your speech. I liked your comparisons when you're talking about, you were wanting to get us to avoid. You go over to the Grand Canyon and look over. So you had some really good comparisons in there. You had you used your personal story, which was great. I wasn't real sure this lifelong learning, how did that connect to the rest of it until later on I got it. So there were some things that if I had kind of heard it in the beginning, maybe, and I'm not quite sure how we want to get that. The gotchas were pretty funny. I like that. You had 3 points. And possibly when you're making your 3 points, you were almost halfway through or better in your speech when you brought up your 3 points. If there were maybe some way to bring that, the 3 points in the beginning so that we were looking for that, I think that would have helped me been more focused on, knew where we would be going then. You had great word choice. I love the quote that you had. The 4 questions, you had great vocal variety. So I really enjoyed that, and you made a point with that. Those 4 points, I think, really drove home a point to us as business people wanting to do something. I'm not quite sure what the business is, but I get that point. At one point, you were talking about, right there towards the end, you were going to take a risk, and you were sort of walking back here, and then you didn't, and then you kept going. And so I was like going, okay, is he going to go play again? I don't know. And then he went, one last comment. Drop the one last comment, and just tell us your last comment. I think that would be helpful. I don't need you to tell us that. And I would prefer don't tell us that you're going to play for us. Just go pick up the guitar and play. I want to play one more little ditty for you. And I think I like the music. I mean, I could listen to that for a long time, I'm not real sure how long you have, and it seemed like a long time, and then you made your point. But overall, loved the speech. I liked the information. You have great presence on the stage, and you were very easy to listen to. You have a nice voice and a nice cadence about it. So overall, I really liked it. And timer, can you tell me what his time was?
He was 23:24.
Yeah. Well, how much time did he take?
He asked for the green at 15, the
Okay.
yellow at 17, and the red at 20. So
Okay. All right. So I think it went well. I don't know if they gave you a time frame, but I just think that the music at the end just seemed a little long. So round robin, anyone wants to start?
You're pointing to me.
Yes, I am.
I loved this speech. I thought it was very inspiring. I'd like you to give a second speech on just how you do the guitar.
So we understand that part, yes?
Yeah, that was me. I liked the guitar, but I think it could have been a little shorter at both ends. You had good stages, but it could have been better. Because I think you were using a lot of that space there, but weren't really going that far with your direction. You had great points. It was very uplifting. And this other words, I think we're going to be a sewing club today.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
We're going to be a sewing club.
Ah, okay.
Chris had a lot of sews too. And I'm next, and I always have a lot of sews. It's going to be a sewing club. I have one other thing. Now I can't remember what it was.
You shall after Diana. You will remember it after
I
Diana.
will. I liked it, and I'm very inspired.
I
Very
enjoyed the
inspired.
flow. I had an easy time following it. There was a little point when you were talking about rediscovering your passion that I was trying to remember what was this third step? But then you said it again. So, oh, okay, that's what it was. One word choice that you might not be aware of is we versus you. You flipped back and forth, but sometimes within the same thought. And so if you can have more consistency there, I think that'll add credibility to your speech.
Okay. Renee, did you remember?
You have a beautiful voice, and I could listen to you talk like that.
Oh, okay.
More speeches.
I agree with you at the beginning. I was kind of lost because I was like, what is he doing? It's really cool. So I would start with listing your 3 points and then saying, and this is a passion that I recently rediscovered.
Okay.
And then start with your guitar. Because then we understand it and it's
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Like that.
Chris?
You do have a lovely voice. I want more volume. Even at the front, there were times when I could hardly hear. Now maybe I'm old. Okay, shut up, I'm old. But I know you had a microphone on and you were being aware of that. You did a great job of varying. As you needed, when you needed to get louder and more intense, you did. And when you needed to be more quiet. So I wouldn't say that you need more variation. I would say, notch it up a little. And then, keep your variations the same. You had a wonderful voice. I wonder, since there are discussions about the stuff at the beginning, I wonder if you could pre-record, get your tracks laid down for the first song.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wonder if redoing those tracks at the end could be another point. Here's a risk I took. I had to learn. This equipment is I don't know, for me, the equipment looks terrifying, like, oh my gosh, I could mess that up in about 3 seconds. You might be able to, see? You might, if you pre-record your tracks at the beginning song, then you might be able to bring in another point about a risk you took and give us another personal story. So here, I'm going to, okay, do this, do that, and it was really scary the first time I did this, and then break into the song. That might give another example and still allow you to kind of do the almost impromptu music at the end.
Okay, good stuff.
Alex?
Keith, I think you have some really, really great points here. I enjoyed the analogy of the Grand Canyon, going to the edge, seeing the void. That's where we can learn, we can grow, we can make great differences. I also liked your 4 gotchas. It shows that you have a lot of humor. I would have liked to have had that more because I did not feel nearly as engaged with this as I would have wanted to. I think humor would have helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way that the introduction went. I was thinking, if I'm a business person and I've got hundreds of emails coming in, you're sitting up there playing the guitar, I'm on my iPhone, emailing or something, and I get really lost. One other thing that I think you need to do is you need to incorporate a few more pauses between your major statements. Just give your audience a chance to breathe.
agree with you. Everybody brought out the points, the creativity, the lifelong learning, the passion, that's all, those were great. And then there was a spot in there, that quote from Thoreau, powerful. To me, that was powerful, and it somewhat got buried, but it stuck to me for some reason. Don't die with something in you, and you gotta let it get out. And I think somewhere along the line, that ought to be hammered a couple more times after you use it. Everybody says that the Grand Canyon's a void. When you said that, I kept saying, boy, I never thought about the Grand Canyon being a void. I think it's magnificent. I was sitting there trying to figure out the void. So I had a different opinion about the beauty and the grandeur of the Grand Canyon versus, I don't know what else would be a void. But that, to me, wasn't one. And I don't know of another example that you could pick up.
Or maybe another word, you know, just the deepness and the vastness.
The vastness, maybe, but I
But,
think
yeah.
I was thinking there's nothing there, but there is something. That to me was what void meant. But anyway, I think it's the points, and the best, the worst, do, don't, and that was,
Super.
I think that for that audience, really great.
Super. So what I heard, thanks everyone for your input. I heard great information, easy to listen to, maybe a little shorter music, maybe even record the beginning, maybe a little more movement, you know, stage presence here, that you use the we and the you kind of in too many places. You had good vocal variety and to increase your pauses, but that overall the speech was very much enjoyed, and I think we got a lot out of it from the comments that I heard. So, Mr. Toastmaster, come on up.